Good evening. Thank you for everybody being here. On February 16th, on February 16th at approximately 3 a.m., Adrian Reid reported to law enforcement that her daughter, Genesis Reid, was gone from the apartment and the exterior door was open. Through the course of our investigation, detectives developed sufficient probable cause to determine that the report was false. On February 17th, Adrian Reid was arrested and charged with false reporting to law enforcement authorities, Class C felony, due to the report alleging imminent danger to a person. As investigators continued to follow leads and interview witnesses, information emerged indicating that Genesis had not been seen with Adrian since Christmas Day. Through the careful, methodical work of investigators, we have reached a heartbreaking and horrific conclusion that her mother, her caretaker, the one that should have been there to keep her safe, willfully murdered Genesis and placed her in a duffel bag and discarded her in a dumpster. Today, March 9th, 2026, Adrian Reid, the mother of Genesis Reid, had been formally charged with capital murder for the killing of a child under the age of 14 and abuse of a corpse. The last confirmed contact with family members occurred on December 25th when Genesis visited relatives in Dothan for the Christmas holiday. That evening, she was returned to her residence in Enterprise with her mother. During the investigations, detectives obtained camera footage from a neighboring residence showing Adrian walking toward the apartment complex dumpster with a rolling duffel bag at approximately 11:30 p.m. on Christmas night. 2 days later, additional footage captured Adrian returning to the dumpster area carrying toys and other belonging to Genesis. Today is an especially heartbreaking day for our community. March 9th would have been Genesis' 3rd birthday. The loss of a child, the most precious and innocent members of our society, is something that cannot be ignored and will not be forgotten. The investigation is far from over. Our focus now turns to bringing Genesis home to the community that loved her. The search and rescue process will be long and difficult, but our resolve remains unwavering. We will continue working until Genesis is brought home. At this time, I will turn it over to Sheriff Byrd, who will provide an overview of the landfill recovery process.
Thank you, Chief Moore. It's a sad day in Coffee County. So we have been involved in this case since February 16th. I've had multiple investigators with this office, with them working and throughout this whole entire operation. And early on, I had a gut feeling this is where it went. So I had started initially calling and searching and filling, and we have contacts through the collection agencies that are really good friends of mine, and we started tracking this. So I initially went and got cadaver dogs and went to the landfill early on in this investigation. And at the beginning, they gave me we had about a 4 or 5 acre window. This landfill is over 100 acres of working space. But that does not deter us in any form or fashion. So as the investigation continued, we can proudly say that we narrowed it down between 200 and 100 feet square. Okay. Our landfill is probably one of the most modern landfills in the state of Alabama. They have drones they fly. We have GPS trackers on the bulldozers. We have GPS trackers on the packers. We have GPS trackers on the garbage trucks. We know where they are, when they are, and how they are at all times. So when the FBI and Enterprise Police Department and all the SBI gave us a date, we started dialing in. Investigators SBI worked round the clock, and it was just awesome. The FBI team, the car team, was tremendous in this. This search is going to be methodical, but we're not going to waver at any point looking for her. Now, I will say we have not put the first piece of equipment in the dirt. All we've done for the past, since February the 16th, or right after that, we've been plotting and searching. It's a 100 acre landfill. I want to ask the public to keep praying for us. This is going to take a while. I'm going to ask you for your patience. We are determined to find her. We're going to give I'm going to ask the surrounding agencies to send me personnel. We've got a team out of Atlanta coming that has found several 50-something in landfill. They're experts. They're going to show us how to excavate this. We're dialing it in. They're going to be here this week, and we will get started. We've already been started. So I want to sit here and thank the FBI, Enterprise Police. They have done tremendous work. SBI, the marshals, our sheriffs and deputies, the investigators, Enterprise. The community has reached out and helped us in every form and fashion that we know how, and that is tremendous. So, y'all keep us in your prayers. Thank you.
James Tarbox, District Attorney. Want to update you on the legal process. Adrian Reid, as Chief said, has been formally charged with 1 count of capital murder for intentionally causing the death of a child under the age of 14, pursuant to Code of Alabama 13A 540 subsection A15. She has also been charged with 1 count of abuse of a corpse pursuant to Code Section 13A 1113. That is a Class C felony under the laws of the state of Alabama. She's now charged with a total of 3 felonies as a part of this investigation that began on February 16th. Capital murder under Alabama law is the intentional murder of someone with a legally recognized additional factor. In this case, subsection A15 is our additional factor, which is a victim under the age of 14. Genesis Reid was 2 years old. Abuse of a corpse is when a person knowingly treats a human corpse in a way that would outrage ordinary family sensibilities. Reid will have an initial appearance before District Judge Josh Wilson on the new felony charges later this week. She will be entitled to counsel. Based on procedures established under Code of Alabama 1513.3, she will be held without bond. She may later request a bond hearing, but the court is not under the strict time provisions set out for what we commonly refer to as an Anais law hearing. Under Alabama law, if we are successful in our prosecution for capital murder and Adrian Reid is convicted, there are 2 possible punishments for a jury to decide: life without the possibility of parole or the death penalty. During the court proceedings of this case, our office will have to formally elect whether we are seeking the death penalty. I am committed at that time to fully evaluating the case file and evidence before making a final decision on the death penalty. However, I am formally announcing today that based upon everything I know at this point about this case, this is having been with our officers, our deputies, and our agents for most of this investigation, day in and day out since February 16th, our office will be seeking the death penalty in this case. The evidence shows that Adrian Reid killed her 2-year-old daughter. She literally threw her in the trash. And then she engaged in a 53-day-long campaign of deceit, lies, manipulation, and, as previously stated, destruction of evidence, before she finally made her false report on February 16th. Her conduct speaks for itself, and I believe this preliminary decision to seek the death penalty conforms to our community's beliefs about this case and our shared values about how we value and seek to protect the most innocent among us, our children. Mayor Cooper.
Mayor William E. Cooper, City of Enterprise. This is a very sad day for all of us. Not just here at Enterprise, but across the country, our county, state, and beyond. I want to thank the law enforcement community and the many agencies who have worked so tirelessly on this case at every level. I am grateful for the support we have received from neighbors, friends, and people everywhere who have offered help, encouragement, and prayers. from the very start, our thoughts and our hearts have been with Genesis, and we have lifted up this little girl in our prayers. Now it is time to see that justice is done for her, and to bring some measures of peace and closure to everyone who has cared so deeply. May God continue to watch over our community and give us strength as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. So, important part of this, like the mayor and DA said, is this is a small fraction of the individuals in this community that reached out and helped us in investigation. We have SBI with us, Aaliyah, my agency, Coffee County, the DA's office. So over the course of the past 21 days, this investigation involved approximately 8,000 combined working hours, with personnel often working 16 to 18 hours per day. Investigators have executed 37 search warrants, pursued 97 investigative leads with just our agency alone, and processed more than 5 terabytes of digital and physical evidence, with that number continuing to grow. Leads have taken investigators across multiple states, including Illinois, Texas, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and throughout Alabama. At any given time, more than 75 law enforcement officers from various agencies were directly involved in this case. We extend our sincere gratitude to the many agencies that provided unwavering support throughout this investigation. This is including, but not limited to, Aaliyah statewide agencies, the FBI local field office, the FBI Child Abduction Rapid Deployment Team, the FBI Behavioral Analysis Unit, the Coffee County Sheriff's Office, the U.S. Marshal's Office, the Dothan Police Department, the Dale County Sheriff's Office, East Alabama Canine Search and Rescue, Southern Star Search and Rescue, Enterprise's CERT program, Enterprise Fire Department, Enterprise Rescue Squad, and the numerous municipal and state agencies that assisted with investigative follow-ups across the region. We are also deeply grateful for the countless calls and officers' assistance from law enforcement agencies and community organizations across the state who stood ready to help us in any way possible. This community has once again demonstrated its strength and compassion. In our darkest moments, the citizens and businesses of this area came together to support investigators and assist any way they could. Our community's honesty, cooperation, and willingness to help play a critical role in the progress made in this case. Without that partnership, the swift developments we have seen would not have been possible. Over the past weeks, our community has prayed together, supported one another, and hoped for a different outcome. Today we grieve together. While nothing can undo the senseless and heartbreaking loss, I take comfort in my faith. I believe that Genesis' earthly body is no longer what defines her, and that she is now in a place far greater than anything this world could offer, surrounded by love and power beyond our understanding. Scripture reminds us of the value of every child, and the words of Jesus gives me comfort. Let the little children come to me, and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. That's all I have. We'll take questions, and I thank you very much for coming.
Just on that note, you all are all sporting some type of pink today. Talk about the motivation behind that on this somber day for the Enterprise community.
Well, again, that started with the community. Let's bring her home and wear pink. And I thought it would be fitting for us to continue to wear pink in support. This has touched every single one of us, the community. I know that the individuals behind me are exhausted, but they're pushing forward. And this gives us the motivation of remembering why we're doing this.
Doesn't the landfill serve multiple counties, not just Coffee County, that brings garbage in?
It does, but we've tracked this particular waste is put in the Coffee County landfill. I mean, we know that's where it goes. So, I'm not gonna call the commercial distributor that does it, but they have been the best in this, and they have a modern equipment for modern trucks. So we are 95% confident this is where she's at.
And this happened on Christmas night, is that what I heard, correct?
That's correct. Late
In Dothan?
Christmas night, what's that?
Was it in Dothan or was it?
No, sir. We have evidence that both Adrian and Genesis were brought back to Enterprise to the apartment.
Mr. Tarbox, are you confident of a guilty verdict despite their, you all still working to recover the body?
So one of the things that, it took us a long time to get to where we found that video. And you hate to be thankful for anything in a situation like this. But one of the things that I am thankful for is that the questions of could it have been something else? These people behind me and their colleagues have tracked down so many potential leads that we have determined not to be accurate. I feel much more confident in our case. I feel that the evidence that we have, our theory of the case, that is the case. And the fact of the matter is this. We will carry forward with that confidence. I never make any promises on any court case because no one can. At the end of the day, whether we are able to bring her home or not, our position does not change. This is our case, and we're going to prosecute it. We owe that to Genesis. We owe it to this community. We're going to take our best swing at ensuring that we get justice in this case.